big summer Warhammer preview show is in the books, and we got more than we bargained for the old world, not just Cathay, but a bunch of Tomb Kings and a bunch of other little surprises and tidbits coming for us. So let's get into it. Hey, welcome back. It's just got me here from Old World Fanatics going through the big summer preview, my reactions. Just a quick video, don't know how long it's going to be. I thought I was probably going to spend most of the time chatting Chaos Dwarfs, but we got better than that because we've got my Tomb Kings. I think we just dive right into it and see my, I guess, initial take on some of this stuff. I know there's probably a lot out there that's already happened, but that's all cool. Yeah, so we knew we were probably getting. I just thought we'd probably see the Cathay second wave. I think there was rumors about the Southern Realms, and then if you go back far enough, in some of the rumors, people were mentioning something about Tomb Kings, but I think this probably took everyone by surprise. So I'll come back to these guys because I just wanted to hit the fact that they've actually talked about 2 journals straight out, and this is arriving with new plastic kits, which I just skipped over, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. Basically describing Cetra's full-scale invasion of the Border Princes and the Vaults. Basically Cetra's Fury, the War of Cetra's Fury. And I've got to say straight up, I think this is the best cover art they've done for Old World. Now, I know I'm obviously Tomb King biased, but I think it's evocative. It's also obviously getting the new figures. You can see where they I don't know if art precedes the figures and the figures then precede the art. I guess art probably does in terms of concept art, but you know, to see these new guys coming into life, but still blended into the old Tomb Garden stuff, I think is just awesome. And just the scale of, even though these like the Necrosphinx is in the background there, I mean, he's huge still. And then it looks like there's castles here in the Border Princes. It's just burning from Cetra's rage. Unfortunately, I don't see Cetra on that, which is a bit frustrating because I really think I would love to see a surprise release of Cetra in plastic, but it's probably not happening, but I'll keep wishing for it because it's a bit frustrating. All this stuff about Cetra and you don't even have his model. Oh, you do, but he's got the goofy horses. So who knows? You've got, and I guess this guy, is that, oh no, okay, that's just a close-up Tomb King type thing on a chariot. I thought that was a bit further back. It might have been the old Hyrule Titan or something. But yeah, I don't know. I just love this. And I think, you know, obviously we're starting to see what is coming next for Old World. We're all a bit confused. And what are they going to do? Are they just going to pump out armies like, you know, Kislev and stuff like that, Cathay V2? But to see the first actual Arcane Journal, which is not, you know, a specific army release. I think it's still going to be Bretonnia, a little bit of Empire, and obviously Tomb King. So it's going to sort of tie in the 2 Arcane Journals probably that we first got, well, 18 months ago. But yeah, I mean, I'm stoked to see this. And on top of that, I think this is coming first. I don't know if they're coming at the same time, but it seems like from where I read, and I don't know if it's in this article now or anything, that this is the first one coming. I thought Cathay was probably on the way. But anyway, yeah, it's packed with the lore behind the bloody Tomb King's offensive. Loads of content for your games. Find rules for mounts for Cambrian characters. So obviously that's heavier Cav because we've got a new miniature for that. But I don't know if they're going to be great if the War Sphinx got a boost, which would be awesome as well. See it on the table, which is cool. And then we get Incantations of the Mortuary Cult. Is that? I'm hoping that's either a new lore or like I don't know if it'd be something a little bit like, you know, Gifts of Chaos and stuff, but I'd also be happy with just, you know, 3 new lore spells that they can take that are a bit different, do some different stuff. And then you're getting Dwarven Slayers and the Border Prince, including Dwarven Slayers and the Border Princes alongside rules for smaller bouts of Warhammer the Old World. So that'd be cool. It'd be interesting to see how that goes and if it's easy to get people in using that. I don't know if they'll tie that into, it'd be good if they tied it into sort of the battalion boxes. FYI, leave a comment at Old World Fanatics to get a draw in for our upcoming episode 105 giveaway for our big battalion box. But yeah, including Dwarven Slayer and the Border Princes. Various armies of infamy, including Dwarven Slayers and the Border Princes. So you're getting 3 armies of infamy. a Dwarven Slayer army, finally, which would be awesome, and the Border Prince, which I guess is going to be a big mishmash of humans now, and maybe not just humans, all the other random stuff that you have in the Border Princes. Hopefully that's not the Southern Realms type thing that people have been leaking, but it might be. Might actually make more sense that this is it, and then you get like Kislev and stuff later. Yeah, but just, actually, I'm quite excited about this one, to be honest, more so than, Cathay and all the other stuff. So this is going to be very interesting. But let's go back and look what we did not know we were going to get Tomb King's models. And all I can say, I'm stoked with it. I don't know. I just think these are bloody awesome. I know they probably, like, the aesthetic starts changing, but I think these are, I don't know, these are almost realistic. They're skinny, skeletal, you're getting that goofiness of the horse face, but that's what they look like when you look at a skeleton of a horse. And yeah, this guy on a barded steed, and obviously they mentioned that on the video, that I'm hoping this Armies of Infamy or whatever will allow you to get, take some extra barding. I guess they're not releasing new figures, so you probably have to do some green stuffing or something onto the actual crappy skeletons you get out of the box. But it would be cool if, I was saying this in some of our patron chats, man, I would love it if you had Cetra chariots and lots of cav, and they're actually useful. That would be bloody awesome. The chariots are good now, but yeah, it'd be good to have some horses that could actually do stuff. But I don't even know where to start with this. Like, it's the cool sort of scorpion pincers that sort of, I love how they're starting to change the old school color scheme a little bit more. It's a little bit more glowing, like magical sort of stuff with that blue. And then you get like the cool little snake guy. I was finding stuff all over this guy now. I can't remember it all, but yeah, I'm pretty stoked. And obviously you're getting that dual plastic, obviously plastic, people. So this is supported. I feel like they probably made some of these, and then when they pulled it back, they went, let's just see how it goes. And now it's just selling like hotcakes. They go, yep, let's make sure every army has a hero mounted and not in a BSB type thing. That's very similar to Cape, to the mortuary priest on the dragon. I love the shield, how it's sort of gone that dark color instead. So they're moving the color scheme a little bit off the old school ones to add that sort of modern look take to it. So I think it's already in my cart and bought if it was available, but unfortunately not yet. But yeah, hopefully soon. And then probably the favorite ones is the actual Leech Priests. So there's the other versions of them, and yeah, they'll be retiring those crappy Finecast resin ones now for these. So you get a mounted one and a foot Leech Priest. And again, just they come in slightly. Do they come in slightly different variants? I'm not sure there. But again, I love the back of his helmet. It's almost like, is it Borg-like? I don't know how he's actually got more helmet on the back. And yeah, the vulture is just awesome on the top of his scarf. So much like little things. This little sand magic thing sort of very evocative of that cover art where you see one of those. I don't know what it is, but they're obviously some type of incantation thing that the mortuary priests do. Sorry, not right up on my lore here, but yeah, I think these guys just tie in. They don't, totally different. I'll go back to this guy. Totally different aesthetic to the little squat BSB resin guy we got. He was very squat, and he was big, chunky, and squat. But now you're seeing the engineering from the plastic kits. Yeah, just awesome. Now, hopefully, it's going to be useful to actually put these guys on mounts and have them, a little bit of synergy in the army. But yeah, there's nothing to complain about apart from I just love to know when it's coming. But it sounds like it's. Again, I just can't believe how much stuff they're throwing at us. And the other thing, right at the top here, there are yet more great models to come, and plenty more Arcane Journals on the way over the next few months, starting with the Tomb Kings of Khemri. So, now we know we've got two here, but coming months, that's not like saying, oh yeah, this is a year away. This is, honestly thought our world might take a bit of a dip over the next 6 months, but I don't know. And we'll talk about this on the pod, but man, with the amount of different ways to build your armies with all these Arcane Infamy, it's going to be very interesting on the tournament scene. We'll see how it goes. So just stoked with that. And then obviously this is the one we knew we were probably seeing sooner rather than later, which is the, and you're getting cool names for them, Dawn of the Storm Dragon, not just Cathay Wave 2 or something, I don't know. But this is obviously the one where they'll release Mao Ying, the dragon, against with it, and then we get that amalgamation of Empire, people of Western. I was trying to bring this up before I jumped on to hit record here, but there was a leak as well. It didn't prove to be at all true, but there's, I don't know, hopefully leave it in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. There's like 3 pages of like text message or something of someone saying that there was like, I think they might have mentioned Tomb Kings, but they were talking about this and saying that it was like a 30% added mercenary sort of bonus. So, because I was hoping that this would just literally be an army, like Grand Cathay and Empire blended together. It's not really using the Empire, the mercenary rules. Those rumors were talking about that there's sort of benefits, like, you know, the mercenaries aren't as unreliable, but they can make the other, if there's mercenaries on the other side, they can make them more unreliable, which is kind of funny. But I'd love to see how it goes, because I'd hate, they were also mentioning something like, I think it was the Jade Cav are not in core. So it's basically like the only core is Jade Warriors. So, I mean, I don't know how that would work. You're going to have different core. So hopefully you can choose some of the Empire stuff and then, you know, blend it together. So yeah, I mean, like, I'm looking forward to that, given that I've got Cathay now, but that's going to be a bigger army project. Whereas I feel like with these guys, slot right in and jump on the mortuary cult, and hopefully Cetra. I'm hoping they do something with Cetra. I don't know if they would ever rebadge his rules, but he might, or just some other rules that might make it even better to weld him or to bring him, whatever it's called. Yeah, so I mean, and you know, you can buy these 2 books. That's a lot of lore coming out. So hopefully sooner rather than later, and just progress it. So I mean, yeah, it was more than I thought, even though it's just 2 miniatures. But I mean, well, not 2, but you know, 2 releases. But yeah, huge. And then on this one too, I guess we did mention the Slayers and the Border Princess. So it'd be interesting to see how the Slayers hold up. Geez, they'll need some plastics at some point, but I guess we'll see how that goes. Yes, leave comments on what you think about those guys. Obviously, pretty stoked with that. What we knew we were probably seeing is the Chaos Dwarfs in AOS, and it's worth just touching on some of these guys. When these popped up in this first battalion, I don't know what they call this, spearhead, I don't know. Obviously, they've moved away from the old Chaos War, and there's the Big Hat era, and then there was the what's called the Forge World one, which I think are probably looking the best, obviously, Tamakan or whatever it's called. And then they're bringing in the AOS aesthetic, and you know, to be honest, I don't know, that the mag, that does not look like the Earth Shaker thing. Looks a little Imperial Guardish to me, you know, a bit 40k-ish. This guy's cool, but probably not going to put him as an Iron Demon, or you could try. I think you could, but the base thing would be a bit weird. But then the more they showed of these guys, the more I thought, oh, I could see people use. I mean, it'd be expensive, but I think if you don't mind what they're going for here, where it's, you know, very stone, very metal, they're almost blending together as they get there, which I thought was a cool concept. I don't know much about these guys, so I'll get it all wrong. But you can definitely see the fire glaives. You know, got these little spear things, but they actually do have the fire. Well, the glaive. It's the fire glaives, isn't it? I can't remember what they are in the whole world. But you know, I could see you using these if you wanted plastic Chaos Dwarfs. I don't know how, you know, these guys are going to be big, but will they fit on? I don't know. I think if you went with the whole AOS army, it would look okay. It'll look pretty good. But yeah, I think some people are going to like them. Some people are going to just go, no, it's not too far away. You know, these rocket batteries and stuff, to me, they just look a little bit too technologically advanced. Maybe it's the tires. You rip the tires off. Maybe that's what it is. You rip these wheels off. They look a little bit too much like futuristic tires to me, but the rest of it's probably not too bad. And wind it back a bit, make it a little bit more fantastical. I mean, the whole way they've blended in all these demon things, I think is actually quite good. But you know, I think you could work with it if you like it. And like I said, if the demon, what's it called in the Chaos Dwarfs? Not the demon engine, is it? Whatever it's called. I think you could technically do this, but the base is just going to be obviously totally the different way. So I don't know. I don't think anyone can complain if you fitted it on there, though. Yeah, and as the further I went along and saw some of the characters, I think didn't mind the look of it and the idea that these guys are like turning into stone and stuff. I thought was actually quite cool. And the bull centers, I think they'd fit. They look pretty cool. The only problem is you probably end up with not too many shapes of them unless they can totally. Oh, they did show 2 other types here. There. So you could blend them around, I think, and bulk out a unit. The issue is, are they good enough in the game? And they're not getting much support, obviously, so I'm not sure. See how V2 of Renegades goes. Val might bring them up. But yeah, these, again, look a little bit too futuristic, but I think it's a bit of the paint job and, stuff like that. So, hey, if you do like them, I think go for it. Pretty cool. And then, obviously, the Hobgrots. I think they ended up being pretty cool. I know Andrew from the pod uses the Hobgrots, whatever it is, from AOS, from the what are the Orc ones called? Can't remember, but these are their own versions of them, a little bit more Chaos Dwarfish. So yeah, I think you could easily see people grabbing these guys as well. Problem is, these would be expensive. The other ones came in a starter box that didn't sell, I think, Dominion or whatever it was. So you can pick them up dirt cheap, the other ones. But hey, if you got the money and you want to do it, go for it, I think. And then you've got the Bull Taurus, which again probably comes in a couple of variants. You'd have to like the stony, metally like look of this. It's very like angular, but I mean, if you're going for that aesthetic and you like it, you can't complain. It's big. I think it would still fit on bases, I would imagine. Love the like volcanic charred tree stuff here. I mean, I think this would fit. This would be awesome to see on the table. So yeah, definitely. But obviously, again, pricey. It's slightly getting away from the old school Chaos Dwarf look, but I mean, it's not like it's this thing. The further it went, I think it became to me. I was like, actually, could do it. When I first saw it, I was like, but I think pretty okay with them using them. I mean, this one looks a bit, the color scheme and all this looks a bit jarring. It looks a bit too mechanical. Looks a bit too futuristic. So you probably need to do a bit of work on it. But look, again, it just comes back to the paint job probably to me. This one looks a bit more normal. So yeah, look, probably not, I don't know, mixed bag yet. I'll probably have to let it grow on me or see what people do. But we might see people using these in Old World. And then just the other thing we did get, which I totally missed just before I hit record on this, was it was 4 a.m. when I was watching this. You did get some Chaos and some Wood Elves, Chaos Dwarfs and Wood Elves in whatever this game's called. What's it called? Underworlds, which, of course, you could use for your Wood Elves for sure if you wanted some special heroes. Again, don't know how totally that fits, but definitely if you missed that, jump on it because there was a couple here. And again, a couple of other Chaos Dwarves and Hobgrots here if you wanted to jump on them, grab them as some heroes for your Chaos Dwarf army. So yeah, I missed them. You might have missed them as well. Just have a look. I didn't go right into them, but yeah, so that's really interesting. So I mean, geez, as I said, I am stoked on the Tomb Kings, and that we're getting them soon. The only issue is a bit Port Beastman and then Cathay, and then this. It's like, what the hell? I need some time to paint people. But you can't complain with what's coming out. The other thing I would just give a shout out if you're after old world lore is Plucky's Tabletop Parlor. He's doing, just 2 weeks ago, this came out. It was actually titled here, I don't know if he's renamed this or not, but Warhammer the Old World Lore, Cetra's Fury Begins. So this is an amalgamation of the lore in the 2 Arcane Journals. So I don't think he's got any new stuff from this new journal coming, but if you want to catch up on it, support his channel. He's trying to, I guess, lay out the lore in a friendly fashion and quite quick. So I thought that was pretty cool and timely to watch. And I don't know if he had any insight, but worth catching up on if you need a little bit of the lore. Anyway, man, Old World just doesn't stop. So pretty happy with that. Thanks, Games Workshop, and thanks all our listeners. I guess we'll catch you on the next video. Cheers.
Old World Rankings. Ranking players worldwide. Find upcoming tournaments. View latest results. Search thousands of army lists. Global faction statistics. Old World Rankings. Free to join today.